In this video, we're going to show you how to write a winning proposal from the perspective of using Proposal Kit to help you generate your document. There are scores of resources such as other videos and books dedicated to showing people how to write winning proposals. Much of what you learn elsewhere, you can apply to creating your proposals using Proposal Kit. There are many factors involved in winning proposals. Some are under your control and others are not. We'll focus on one thing under your control, the proposal to be delivered, and how to assemble that proposal document. Ultimately, you are trying to convince someone else to do something for you, and that person, or multiple people, need to trust that you will deliver. The proposal is just one tool that will help you gain that trust. That could be that the product or service you are selling will solve their problem, or they will trust that your business will be as successful as you claim, which will make their investment pay off for them. Notice here that the focus is always on the other party that you are pitching your proposal to. So first off, we'll show you some of our proposal packs and how to select one. If you just look at our proposal packs, we have many design themes. So the first thing to do is just decide on the visual design. If you want to brand the documents to the visual look of your own company, we have our proposal pack for any business, which starts out plain and it's brandable, so you can add your own logo, your own font types, your own graphics and colors and so on to match your own logo. Otherwise, if you want your proposal documents to have some pre-made graphics, color schemes, typography already there for you, we have hundreds of design themes. You can just scroll down through all of our designs. We have many general purpose designs and many industry specific designs. Say if you're an interior decorator. If you just scroll down any of the actual proposal pack pages, you'll see full-size blow-ups of what the actual documents will look like once they're installed and they're in use. So the first thing to do is you select a proposal pack design theme, purchase it, download that in the Wizard software. Once it's on your computer, you're ready to start. The first thing to do is do some research and preparation. Research who you're submitting the proposal to, the competition, your own internal company information. Gather the material you think you're going to need for your proposal. Next, you want to decide on what goes into the proposal, how long it should be. Do you have instructions you're following from an RFP? A proposal could be 3 pages long, it could be 20 pages, it could be 100 pages. Most proposals are in the 5 to 10 page range. Now this can be the most complicated part of assembling your proposal, is just deciding all the things that you need to put in there. This is one place where the proposal kit really helps. Now the proposal kit will include thousands of templates to pick from, hundreds of pre-made layouts for all different kinds of businesses, all different kinds of proposal writing situations. So if you need assistance installing, setting up the proposal pack, there are other videos that will cover that. This video assumes you've already got everything installed and set up. Now how we assemble a proposal document in the Proposal Pack Wizard is we'll create a document project. Each time you're going to create a proposal, business plan, or a document using the software, you'll go through this step. We'll add a new project. We'll give it a project name, my project number 2. Sometimes this will be your client's name. This is just for your own information. So the first thing we'll do in a project is we'll click this Pick Documents button. Now this will get us to the thousands of templates and the hundreds of layouts. Now you'll see it showing us some common templates. These are 40 out of over the 2,000 that are available. So you'll see very common ones that you'll use most of the time, like the cover letter, title page, table of contents, executive summary, and so on. If you click over on the Quick Start tab, there are hundreds of pre-made layouts that we have gathered over the last 20 years for all sorts of different kinds of businesses. And you can also search through these hundreds of lists using the search button. Let's say we're just going to do a general product or service sales proposal. We can just scroll down the list and we'll pick the long product sales proposal. The wizard will also tell us what list of chapters will be loaded into our project for anything that we select here. This particular one will load 15 templates with a cover letter, title page, table of contents, a products page, and so on. Say if we're doing a short quote, that might only give us a 5-page template. Say we're applying for a grant. This will load a 30-page template. Now these lists can be completely customized. You can add additional chapters, you can remove chapters to tailor the list of chapters that will go into the document exactly to your situation. So say in this example, this is 30 templates out of the over 2,000 available. You'll see for this grant, it'll have funding type pages, pages to talk about the project, the needs assessment, letters of support, and so on. Usually for a grant, you'll be picking templates based on instructions in an RFP, and you'll match those to the thousands of templates we have available. Or say we're just selling a service. So a very short services template would just be a cost summary and a list of services and a contract page. And many of these templates are more specific to certain types of business situations. So they'll be very specialized, everything from accounting services to computer software, security services, and so on. Or if you need project proposals, many of these are project related. Say you want to pick a project management consulting services proposal. This will give a slightly different set of chapters. So whenever you've selected a set of chapters, let's say we're going to do a marketing campaign services proposal, a long one. We'll just import that list that we finally decide on as our starting list, and you'll see the list of chapters selected. Now in general, a proposal is going to be laid out in order with introduction chapters first. These will be things like your cover letter, title page, and introduction page. Then you'll follow it with the client pages. Now this is usually going to be the pages that make up the body of the project material. If you're pitching a project, it'll be the business plan material. If you're pitching a business plan to be funded or looking for funding, it'll be the product or service pitch material. After the client pages, then you'll talk about, say, the specific project information or detail pages. After all of that, then you'll put your own company pages. This might be things like your About Us, company history, your staff information, your qualifications, certifications, referrals, and so on. After that comes the appendices. That might be technical details and so on. That will be the general flow for pretty much any kind of proposal. Now that we have a list of chapters selected, we can alter that list at any time. Anytime you want to see the list of chapters selected for your project, you just click this View button, and you can remove pages by selecting them. Click the Remove button. Now let's say we want to add some pages back. Now this was a marketing campaign layout. So maybe we want to go look at some of the chapters that are more marketing related. So let's say, oh, let's add a growth area page. Let's add a publicity page, and so on. You can just scroll through these different lists of chapters specific to that situation. There's hundreds of categories here. You know, if you're doing IT related projects, you'll find IT related chapters, real estate, construction, medical, security, pretty much everything. Or you can break it down by specific types of proposals. You have categories here for specific to service proposals, products, projects, business plans, nonprofits, and so on. Or if you want to get chapters specific to talking about things about your own company. Like your capabilities, your portfolio, your officers and board, and so on. So once you've selected all the chapters using these different tabs, we're ready to actually build the proposal document. Now you also have a couple other screens here, company data and client data. This is for filling in name and address, contact information that'll get merged into your document. And we will save the project. And now it will build our Word document. So just sit back and wait for it to build the document. Okay, now that the wizard has completed generating the document, it will open it up in Word for you to finish editing. So you'll see it started with the cover letter. It merged in the current date, our name and address information. It's added the title page, merged in our name and address information. Created a table of contents with page numbering, merged in our website address. And inserted all of those selected chapters that we had checked off for our project. The client summary, campaign, services page, and ends with a nice back cover page. So you see, this is how the wizard and our proposal packs can quickly assemble in a matter of minutes a complete Word document, all structured, laid out, ready for you to just start filling in your actual information into the pages. It has all the structural material in there for separating the headers and footers, adding the title page, cover page, tables of contents, page numbering, and so on. Custom bullet point graphics. Now, we're using one of our hundreds of design themes here. This is our marketing number 1 design theme. You can recreate this same exact template in hundreds of different designs, including branded to your own logo and color scheme. So one of the ways Proposal Kit helps you create a winning proposal, it will create a Word document for you that is structured, organized, and easy to follow. Now say we're doing a proposal for a different kind of business. Now we've loaded our wizard here with a couple different design themes. That last one was using our marketing 1 design theme. Now whichever packages you purchased and installed will be available here. Most people will use one style. If you're using our ProKit bundles, you may have up to, say, 5 styles. Let's say we're doing a proposal for a security company, and we've loaded our security number 8 design theme. And just like before, we'll click the Document Projects button, Add New Project. And in this case, we're going to show you how to create a proposal from a pre-made example. Now, last time we used our Quick Start tab, and you can find security proposal layouts here as well. Just scroll down to the S's, and there are quite a few security layouts. But in this case, we're going to use a completed example proposal. Now, there are a couple hundred example proposals, and these same set of samples are included in every single package. And these are completed proposals where somebody else in the past has used a specific proposal pack design theme, gone through this process of selecting some chapters, creating a document, and then filling in that document with their actual information and completing a proposal. And those final examples are in the wizard. This is a good way for you to get writing ideas, maybe break out of a writer's block, or get started a little faster. If we happen to have a sample that's close enough to your actual situation, you can just use the sample as your starting point. So we're going to pick the Security Guard Services sample. And we're going to click the Import Content from Selected Sample. Now, if we want to actually look at the PDF sample, we can click this. And this will just open up a non-editable PDF. And we could scroll down it. You'll see this actually has a different design theme. This is one of our flag designs that this company used. You can see their table of contents. Now the sample, since it's a completed version of somebody else's and rendered, is non-editable, but our wizard software has the capability of building you an editable version of this sample with the sample content, but in the design theme that you chose. And we'll show you how that is done. So now that we've selected this particular sample, we'll click the Import Content from Selected Sample button. Now that loaded our project with a list of 14 chapters. Just like that Quick Start tab earlier, we showed you loaded your project with lists of chapters. Now this is the same exact set of chapters that the person who wrote this sample started with. And we're going to use the same set of chapters. Now you do have the ability of altering this list of chapters if you want to drop out some pages or add new pages. If you add new pages from the library, it will be the general purpose chapters. It won't be filled in content, since that person obviously didn't use new chapters that you added yourself. So we'll just stick with the exact list of chapters. We'll say OK. We want to use this set of 14 chapters. And now we'll do the same process of building the document. Okay, now that we've built our new document, we'll open it up. You also see that the content of this cover letter was actually the content of the sample itself. But the sample content has also been modified to include tags in it, so the sample content will be tagged more specifically to your company. And you'll see it has a different design theme. Instead of that flag design from the rendered sample, it's using the Security 8 design. And you'll see it's using the actual sample content that was pulled into this design theme in this generated document. This is another way you can quickly get proposals generated, ready for editing, all laid out, nice design theme within minutes. I'll show one last example here. Now we've loaded a third design theme called our Aqua number 5. In this case, we're going to do a request for funding type proposal. So we're going to match this Aqua design theme to a layout we have in here for a more specific funding proposal for a clean water project in another country. Now you can see this is a pretty substantial project and funding proposal using 35 templates. So you see here where we're really covering a lot of major topics for a more comprehensive proposal. We have our introduction material, talking about the needs, the goals, summarizing everything up at the top, putting in a lot of project detail pages that are more specific to, say, a clean water project, where you may be talking about the health and wellness of the community, the natural resources available, infrastructure issues, and so on. This is where you'll find a lot of uses for the thousands of chapter templates available in a proposal pack. Is you can really get detailed lists of project pages quickly in our wizard for very specialized situations. For a grant proposal, you might have a lot more financial funding related pages. This is where you'll summarize the project at the end, a call to action with, say, recommendations, putting your company information at the bottom, mission statements popular for funding or nonprofit type proposals, and so on. So we'll give this project a specific name. Now this funding proposal has been generated, and you'll see the name and address stuff has been inserted again. If we scroll down, now you'll see it's in our Aqua design theme. The title we gave it in the client data screen has been inserted here. Table of contents covers all of the major chapters, all those topics that were inserted. And this document is now ready to just start editing in Word to fill in all of the actual information. For grants, you'll have, say, funding pages, cost benefits. Now, all of these financial tables can be linked to Excel spreadsheets, so the calculations can be done in Excel, but the nice formatting will be in the Word document, and you don't have to supply the Excel spreadsheets along with the proposal. Now, normally you're not going to submit your proposal as a Word document. Generally, you want to use PDF format because you do not know what software or settings another person on another computer will be using to view the document. PDF documents are going to be viewable pretty much on any platform in the layout and formatting that you intended them to see it in. So, say someone finished their proposal, you can do a save as PDF. PDF formats are supported in pretty much every word processor nowadays. You don't have to have Adobe Acrobat installed separately. So now that we've saved our PDF version, this is the one that you can send to a client, either upload to their system or send as email or print and deliver. So it's completely up to you. Everything is under your control, how you manage the document and what you do with it after it's been generated in our software. Another important thing for winning proposals is to be active, to be proactive, to follow up. You don't want to just submit a document and then sit back and do nothing. The document itself isn't going to win a proposal for you. It's all going to be about you and how active you are and how much the other party basically trusts that you will deliver. And that is how Proposal Kit can help you create a winning proposal. Click subscribe to keep up on the latest proposal writing tips with Proposal Kit.